Good evening. I'm Remko Sintmaartensdijk. I'm fashion designer here in Suriname, and I would like to talk about the universal model. What am I going to tell you about? It's actually what society thinks about modeling, what society thinks about fashion, what society thinks about beauty. I'm going to talk about beauty. But what is beauty? I would like to ask you in front, okay, what is your perception of beauty? From BC till actually about now, I'm going to show you different images why you can think about, okay, is that beauty for me? Is that no beauty for me? Let's first start about the universal model, men. I'm going to be very short about it. Well, Da Vinci did draw it very clearly. It's actually the ideal human body. What is the ideal human body? Well, actually, your head goes 8 times in your body. Your elbows are always in your waist, and your hands go on your thighs. You can try that later. It works for everybody. Why am I going to be short about men? Because you can see it. The ideal body of men is still actually square. It's masculine. It didn't change. It never changed. It was this way with the Greece. It was this way in the 80s. It is still the same now. So that's why I'm not going to talk about men, because they're simply not interesting to talk about. So I'm going to go through history with women. I'm going to start with actually before Christ with the ancient Greece. Why am I starting with ancient Greece? Because Hera, the goddess I show you here, is actually considered as the most beautiful goddess from ancient Greece. Why is it considered as beauty? Well, the interesting thing I thought about it is it's a drapery around her body. You can still see her body, but it doesn't really show much. It's actually a drapery around the body. Actually, men had about the same drapery at that time. Okay, beauty is perceived differently from different decades. Okay, well, that's okay. Still, you can see the body, though, because she's wearing a corset, but it's a lot of room around it. The thing is, the things changes here between these two was actually the clothes they wear. The body sort of stayed the same. But what is interesting in history, that the female body actually changes what is considered as, okay, beauty. Because in the 17th century, women became curvy, and curvy became beauty. And Rubens, the painter of the painting, was actually one of the painters who really loved painting, and especially nude women, and especially curvy nude women. So the perception of beauty changes not only within clothes, but also within the body. Pin-up girls. Pin-up girls were considered as beauty as in sexy. Okay, why? Lots of more skin were showed. Okay, why is it considered sexy? Why isn't it considered beauty? It depends on what you think about it. The thing is, they were slender. What did change is a little later. One of the most beautiful women in the world, considerably. But she was curvy. And it wasn't not much time after the slender women of the 40s. So how does it work if you jump into the 80s? You've got different icons. You've got big icons, like Madonna, Grace Jones, and Cher, who also used actually fashion designers to provoke and to show their bodies, especially Madonna with her corset, totally fitted, and the pointy, well, I don't have to explain that. It was provoking for that time. Is it provoking still? No, I don't think so. When you move from the 80s till the 90s, the body gets still tighter. We still get less clothing, actually. More nudity, more skin. It's still perceived
as society thinks what is beauty. We're now in the 21st century. We've got role models, we've got icons from this century. Let's talk about Beyoncé. Well, we have some others like Rihanna, Lady Gaga. The thing that worries me now is, okay, everybody has comments about the way they dress because it's not good for our children. Actually, it didn't change. Nothing changed from the 40s till the 60s till the 80s. Nothing changed till now. So what if our grandparents, our parents, and us came out all fine looking at these women? Why shouldn't our children be? Okay, back to the models. I would like to talk about Naomi Campbell. Why would I like to talk about Naomi Campbell? Because she's one of the biggest models in the world. She's a role model. She's one of the first black models as well. And she's an example for a lot of Surinamese models. I think it's a woman we can be proud of. She started in the 90s, by the way, and actually she's still one of the biggest models now. The thing about her is her body is slender. It's not really thin, because we're talking about body fashion and all the beauty behind it and everything. What is considered about beauty and what society thinks about beauty and what was inspirational was in the 21st century, models getting thinner. Okay, actually they get a little bony, really, really bony. And society thought, okay, well, this is not beauty anymore as we want to see it. There's a lot of beauty in Suriname. One of the, what I think, best models of Suriname is. And she lately won a contest, an international model contest. I think we can be proud of her. What I like to do is fashion. Like Jean-Paul Gaultier did with Madonna with the pointy thingy, is she liked to provoke. What I do like to do is provoke too, but I like to do it on a basis here from Suriname. So what did I do? I put a man in a dress. Is it new? No, it's not new. Because if you think about my first slide about the Greece goddess, and I told you that Greece men were also in robes, and it looks a little like this, it's actually not new. Beside that, all the fashion designers who showed men in skirts and stuff like that, but it's most similar to the Greece ones. What was my reason to do it? To provoke a little, to show a little difference, to change mindsets, because it's all about mindsets. Is it still beauty? Yeah, it's a beautiful picture. It's a beautiful guy in a beautiful setting, in a beautiful picture, just wearing a dress. Other things we can be proud of. We have Miss Universe Suriname. Okay, well, look at the picture. Who's the most beautiful one? Beside that, we have Cheryl Reiger. So if you look at the pictures from what I did from the Surinamese models, from the Surinamese role models, you can see a difference too, because they weren't all skinny, they weren't all curved. So actually, Surinamese have a lot of diversity in what beauty is. Well, I want to give you my mindset about beauty. Because if you think about it, true beauty is not from the outside. But that doesn't mean you can't wear or look pretty in a nice dress. Thank you.